Yes, people, what's happening? Nice one for coming back to the Fuse UK. It's much appreciated as always. I'm excited for this podcast tonight. We've got a guest on who I met down at the BKFC tryouts in Liverpool. He impressed everybody there, got great character, and I'm looking forward to having a podcast with him. It's none other than Zane Marks. What's happening, bro? You good?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm all good, mate. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. How you doing? You
Good,
good?
man. Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. How's life been?
Oh, life is good, man. Like I said, I'm blessed. Yeah, excited about the 14th. I can't wait.
Yeah, class, mate. I was wondering, mate, if we could start this podcast by going back, like talking about young Zane, how he got into fighting, where it all began.
Uh, I grew up in New Road, a place called New Road, Louisiana. Um, it was my mother's white. My mother's from Scotland. My father's African American. So my dad is like black, black. You know, like so black he's
Yeah,
light blue. You know, and he's dark. So is my brother and all my aunts and my uncles. So I was raised in a town that was maybe a population like 80,000, a small
yeah,
city. And I was the only person of my color.
right.
So, you know, in the United Kingdom, people might look at me like I'm black, but over there,
Yeah,
I was considered white. You know, white boy was my nickname growing up. So
yeah,
with my cousins, like I had to fight. I was picked on at school, I was picked on at home, stuff like that. So uh, I was a bit of a rogue. So my grandmother, she wasn't too happy with me fighting, but when I was young, I didn't know how to fight, but I could punch. So if I hit somebody, you know what I'm saying, most likely it wasn't a fight. Um, so uh, I became too much for my father to handle. I mean, yeah, for my father to handle. So he sent me when I was 14 years old. He sent me back to Scotland, um, which I lived with my grandmother, my mom's mom. My mother passed away when I was 7, and it was all at that point like my grandmother gave me a little bit too much freedom. So I was always in trouble, and like in Scotland, like every scheme has a best fighter. When you're in school, every every what do y'all call it, year, like first year,
yeah.
second
Every
year.
year group.
Yeah. So when I first went to the school, somebody was like, "Well, that's the best fighter in this year." And growing up, I never got attention. I was kind of
Yeah.
I had it hard growing up, so I had to be tough, kind of thing. So I just started going walking from scheme to scheme, fighting the best fighters scheme. Uh, I got into boxing. When I was 16 years old in Scotland. I was working on a door. I was kind of big, and there's a guy named Danny Lee, and he started teaching me how to box. So within he trained me for a few months, and within 6 months, I won the British title. I had like 12 amateur fights, all knockout. Um, so won the British title, but there wasn't that many fights over in Scotland. So I went back to America to box, and I was fighting every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I fought like the likes of Andre Ward, Andre Durrell. These are the guys that I fought amateur with. Andre Berto. Yeah, so I went over there. I won a silver medal at the Junior Olympics and stuff like that. Turned pro for the young. For fought for world title twice. I've held a couple of titles as a pro.
Bloody hell, because didn't you? I don't know if I read this right, but when you're in the Junior Olympics,
Yeah, silver medal.
got a silver medal in the Junior Olympics, didn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
That's what I mean. You've got all the pedigree there, haven't you? And like fighting wise.
yeah. 100%. Like I, I fight better than I fight better than I do anything else. I believe my style is different. I'm very unpredictable.
Yeah. So what happened with pro boxing then? When did you stop fighting pro?
Well, uh, I had a management team. Like I was with Damien St. Pierre, and when I turned pro like 17. Uh, my first fight I won. My second I fought anybody.
Yeah.
My second pro fight I fought a guy 13-1. I had no business in the ring with him. But we fought. We went to decision. I lost closely. Uh, and then they suspended me because my face was swollen. His face was swollen. So we got a 30-day suspension. And then I got offered to fight Lucian Bute like a week later. And I sat down for that week. I didn't do anything because I had just fought, and I took the flight. It wasn't a lot of money, but at the time when I was young, I never had that kind of money.
Yeah.
Loan money, it's like $9,500. I thought I was rich.
Yeah.
So I went over there. I lost to Luke and which I was winning. You can see on YouTube. I was winning the fight until I got caught. He broke all my rails. He broke all the rails on my left side, and I got up, and he broke all the rails on the right side. Yeah. So it was just down to inexperience. I wasn't experienced as he was, but I took a year off. I stayed in the gym and I focused on my craft. And after that, I went on a 14-year winning streak.
Yeah. So when you were, say, like your amateur and your professional career, would you say you give it everything you had, or would you say you slacked a bit in places? Do you think you could have done better, or did you actually like give it everything you had?
I think the only person to ever beat me was me.
Yeah.
You know, I was getting money. For my age, I was making a lot of money. I had a lot of sponsors. And let's say I had a little fame, and I let it go to my head, and I stopped being humble.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't a nice person. So I I took some time off, and they called me to fight. I hadn't fought in 2 years, and they called me to fight the number 3 ranked middleweight in the world, which is Kingsley Kiki, and he's 6'7". And I took the fight for the money. And nobody thought that I had a hope in hell. But you know, it went the distance. I needed stitches in my eye. He needed emergency dental surgery. And then we asked for rematch after that. He didn't want to fight. So yeah, only person that ever beat me was myself. I fought Kingsley Kiki after that. Took some more. That was my thing. I got discouraged with boxing so many times. You know what I'm saying? Like you get discouraged and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I got shot. 2016, I got shot. And
What shot?
yeah, shot. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I was
In,
living
in America or Scotland?
in America.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so I even though I had so many opportunities in front of me, I blew a lot of opportunities because I was always in the street. You know what I'm saying? I was doing things I shouldn't have been doing, living a life that I shouldn't have been living. And then after that, there's a guy I came up in the gym with, and his name was Travis Scott. Better boxer than me, 100% better boxer than me. We had like a love hate relationship, and they ended up calling me out. They called me out to fight him. He called me out, and he was 18-0, and guys were getting like 10 grand and stuff like that to fight him, and they offered me 2,500. They done that because they didn't think I would take the fight, but I took the fight. He's on YouTube as well. And I knew I was stronger than him. I knew he couldn't hurt me. He was faster, better boxer. He couldn't hurt me, so I just went and took the fight to him, and I took that fight on 2 weeks' notice. So that kind of let people know that I was back on the scene. So I had like 3 Facebook, and on these 3 Facebooks, they, I had 5,000 friends on each one, so I was like maxed out. And because I got family in Scotland, I had a lot of followers from Scotland, so I posted something on Facebook. I said, if you want to see me fight in the UK, then contact your local promoter. And a couple of days later, I had offered some fights in the UK, so I flew over here. And I got brothers and sisters that live in Scotland, so I hadn't been home. I had been out of the UK for like 13, 14 years, and I came back and I fought a guy from Lithuania. I stopped him in the 3rd round. That was for Soul Time promotion. And then things was bad. Things took a turn for the worse. You know?
Yes. So, what happened after the pro career? Because obviously, from your professional career to obviously what you're getting up to now in the BKFC, there's quite a gap. What did you get up to in between them years?
Oh man, so when I came back to Scotland for this fight, I booked my flight. So I was here for 3 months. So the way it worked out is like after I had the fight, I had like 6 weeks, 7 weeks left in the country so I could spend my family, catch up, stuff like that. And I met a woman, and I don't really talk about this, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's something that's haunted me for a long time, and I'm kind of glad that I'm getting to talk about it. But I promised myself, like, I'm doing this to put this out there, just like to close the door on it. Like, this will be the last time I speak about it.
Yeah.
But I had a sexual relationship with a woman for about 6, 7 weeks. I went back to Scotland. I went back to America. She contacted me. She told me she's pregnant. So I came back for the birth of supposed to be the birth of my son. But come to find out, she lied about the pregnancy. I didn't notice at the time she was lying about the pregnancy. And I had just won sole custody of my oldest daughter. So I couldn't stay. So I was like, I need to go back home. She said the baby was having complications and they were leaving the baby in a bit longer. And I'm a man. I didn't know much about it at the time. You know what I'm saying? I just knew I was going to support my child. So I went back to America, and then she sent me, a few weeks later, she sent me a picture. I was just like, boy, most beautiful baby I've ever seen. She told me it passed away. She told me it passed away. And I was devastated. So it kind of went off the rails for a year. I was grieving the child. So I was in America back in the street doing things that shouldn't be doing. And then she called me about a year later. She's like, it's time for us to let him rest. So I came back to spread his ashes. And when I came back, my older sister's a midwife. So she told me to ask for a death certificate or a birth certificate. She told me something didn't sit right with her. So come to find out, this woman lied about this baby. And she lied about this kid. And she lied about this kid. So when I found out the kid that she lied about the kid, like I've been grieving this baby for 2 years, and my life was just falling away from me. You know what I'm saying? Like I was making a lot of bad decisions, doing stuff I wasn't supposed to be doing, and I found out that I'm gonna be all the way honest here. So I found out the baby wasn't real, and then he stole the pictures of the baby off Google. So I was grieving a child that never existed. It was a child existed, but it was another child. It wasn't my child. You know what I'm saying? Child that I didn't know, or she didn't know. So I went to the house to confront her. She had some man, and the man came to the house. I mean, the man came to the door. I guess he thought he was protecting her, like not protecting her, but standing up for her. I was calling her names. I shouldn't be calling her because I'm not like that. But I was hurt. I was broken, and so this man, so-called himself stand up saying, "Don't call it these names," and he hit me. And let's just say I went to prison. So I went to prison for that. I went to prison for that. I was in a real dark place. So I got 2.5 years of prison for that. And I got out of prison. And so when I was in prison, like this woman was writing me love letters. So I was giving my lawyer these love letters to try and, because she gave evidence against me, you know what I'm saying? So the way it turned out is like she gave evidence against me, and they try to say that I robbed this man and abducted him and tortured him and all of this stuff, right? But the case was the man was married, and I heard him. I beat him up pretty bad. So he's had to go home. He was married, so he's had to go home and explain to his wife why his face is all messed up, why his jaw and cheekbones broke. So first thing he said is, I went down to see a guy about buying a car. It was a setup. I was robbed and I was abducted. So to save face, he couldn't tell his wife, well, I was with another woman, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I went to prison for that. So I done my 2.5 years. I got out. I was only out of jail. I was out of prison 6 days. I hadn't spoke to this woman 2.5 years. Had nothing to do with it after that day. And police show up asking questions. So they took me down to the police station. Said that I was accused. I've been allegedly I sexually assaulted somebody. Now this is this woman that I haven't seen 2.5 years that lied about the baby. So The police took me in the cell, and they, and I don't cooperate with police. That's just something I don't do at all. But they asked me to take my shirt off, and she said that she clawed my neck. Now she's saying that this. So when the police picked me up, she said it happened like an hour before. So that she's told me she scratched all my neck up, my ribs, my sides all scratched up, and that she was digging so hard into my neck that her nails were coming off. So the police took me into the cell and stripped me, took pictures of me, and they released me without charge because she's saying she scratched me up, but I didn't have a mark on me. So they let me go. Went home, went on my life. 3 or 4 days later, police called me in again. They called me and said, "Could you come in? We just want to ask you a couple more questions before so we can close the case." So I was innocent. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't seen this woman 2.5 years, and I go in and quickly charged me with 6 counts of rape, trying to dismember this woman, robbery, possession of cocaine, possession of heroin. So I was so they remanded me in custody. I was charged with 18 charges. I probably got 30 years, 40 years in prison for what I did, for what they said I did. So I'm on remand like 13 months, and they're offering me deals. They said, take this deal, we'll drop this amount of cases. I said, I'm not pleading guilty to nothing. So I was innocent. And then, so what it is now they're saying I raped 2 women. They're saying I drugged these women and raped them. But I know the first one of the ladies is somebody that I'm supposed to have a baby with. The baby, but this other woman, I didn't know who she was. I never heard of her. I don't know her name. You know what I'm saying? So I was like confused, and like so I went to prison. And prison told me, said, with the nature of the charges, we have to put you on protection. So I'm not going to protection for nobody. Guilty means high. You know what I'm saying? So 13 months, 11 days. I fought every day. I've had COs let other prisoners run in my cell at 3 o'clock in the morning. I got 3rd-degree burns on my waist, like on my genitals and stuff. With sugar, boiling water and sugar. I ain't gonna say I had a hard time in prison, but I fought every day. And I go in my cell at night and I would cry because it's people in prison say, "Oh, I'm innocent." But then, you know what I'm saying? There was no evidence against me, but they charged me. So I found out that if 2 people are saying the same thing, it's enough to charge even though there's no evidence. So the papers slaughtered me, ruined my career, ruined my name, saying I was drugging women. Like it's one thing to say somebody sexually assaulted you, but I didn't understand because like you got 2 women, one of them I don't know, saying the exact same things, right? Then you got a woman saying that, and at the time I was probably about 14 stone. This woman saying I forced her to sleep with 100 different men in the back seat of a Toyota Yaris while I hit in the boot. You know what I'm saying? So I in prison every day I fought. That's who I am. I ain't backing down for nobody. And I used to pride myself on saying that this ain't gonna break me. This ain't gonna break me. But it did. When I went to court and got acquitted of all charges. I was trying to say I was pimping them up, so it's crazy. So yeah, so it was hard. When I got out of prison, my dad came in business from America. We went out for a drink, and some people in the pub started. So I stood up and I raised up. I'm ready to do what, you know what I'm saying. I'm ready to fight or whatever. My father's not that type of person, so my father's not that type of person. So I lost it then, like, cause my dad, everybody kept saying, "Stop, it's okay, you know how you feel." But somebody said, "You know how I feel." I can't accept that. You don't know what I feel. You don't know what I've been through. I'll go through what I went through in prison 100 times over. It's when I got out of prison, I wasn't prepared mentally. Don't get me wrong. Nobody treated me different in the streets. Everybody knew me. If you know me, you know what kind of person I am. I'm a stand-up guy. But I was made out to be a monster, and the mental torture it done to my mentality. It was beyond repair. Like, you know what I mean? I couldn't get a job. People were doing and saying certain things on social media, no fake profiles and stuff like that. And it's like I became paranoid, and then I ended up getting invited to house party. And I got invited to house party. They invited me to the kitchen. I went in the kitchen and we let a bunch of people in the house. And, a bunch of guys came in with knives and all that. All I heard was rapist, nigga this, and nigga that, and all that. So I was ready to fight, but so I went in the kitchen. I went in the kitchen drunk to get a knife to defend myself. And they took all the knives out of the kitchen. So I got stabbed several times. But I wasn't gonna jump out the window. 3 stories up. So I had to fight my way out. I got stabbed. I almost lost my left hand. Or I got my finger sewed back on. But you know what I'm saying? If I wasn't who I am, then I wouldn't be alive today. So it was that, and I was in a very dark place. The only thing I could do to feed myself and my family was I couldn't fight no more. I couldn't get a job. Nobody would hit time, and my name was ruined. And then I was like, I want to go back to fighting, but the paper slaughtered me and said all of this stuff. But when I got acquitted and the truth came out, they never printed that in the paper. So all it shows is that I was accused of rape. I was accused of raping these women and doing all this stuff. They never said I was acquitted on charges. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so I always had that fear if I'm fighting to do a ring walk, because I know me. I'm not gonna walk through and somebody's calling me names in the crowd. I'm jumping over the rail every one for it. That's just who I am. But it's that fear. The thought of somebody thinking of me that way, you know what I'm saying? It kills me. I got 5 daughters, 2 sons. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of kids, so it's like, it's crazy. I didn't know what else to do. I turned it back. I turned back to organized crime, serious organized crime, stuff like that. I was tired. Even though I was living back in the streets, like I didn't want to live. I wanted to kill myself. I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. I was in a place of self-destruction. And I gave my life to Jesus Christ. So, yeah.
That's what I mean, mate. Like, it's a lot to fucking deal with, isn't it, what you've been through?
Yeah. Do
you know what I mean?
I went to a boxing gym. I want to fight again, and I went to a boxing gym to fight again, and he's like, "You want to get your license back?" But BKB, Jim Freeman Dove, asked me if I wanted to fight BKB. So hell yeah, a fight's a fight. It got so bad, but I was on Facebook asking people who wanted to go struggle. You know what I'm saying? Anybody want to look for struggle? Straight. But my age, with my age, everybody wants to be world champion and stuff like that when they fight. I'm not saying it's not possible, but my thing is exciting. I like to get asses out of the seats. That's my thing.
Yeah. So where did the bare knuckle come about?
I was sitting in the house one day. Jim Freeman Dove. Jim Freeman Dove kept saying he sent me a contract when he didn't send me a contract. So with that being said, I just gave up on that idea, and then I seen the BKFC tryouts in UK. Now I messaged somebody. I said, "Where's this at?" And they told me. And they said, "Message that in the big one." I said, "Listen, I haven't fought in years. I haven't been to the gym in years." I said, "But I want to take part." And he said, "Come along." So and I'm grateful. I'm so grateful because I've met so many. Like, I don't live the life I used to live. Like, give my life to Jesus Christ. I have a family. Doing family life. You know what I'm saying? I don't associate with anybody from my old life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I met a bunch of guys that, like Andy Thornton. He's fighting the car as well. Like, I met him at the BK. And me and him, that's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, we train together. We do. We go to fights and stuff together. So we do a lot of things together. So it's great. There's another fighter. I don't know his name, but his name on Instagram is Solo Travel or something like that. 91. He's coming down. Buddy. He's coming down training. So I'm grateful. Sorry, man.
It's all right, mate.
They doing all day, so
The daddy life, eh?
yeah, my boy. He gonna be a fighter.
You're getting him into fighting.
Yeah, me and him take him on the pads and stuff now.
Yeah, good man, good.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm grateful for Andy Bakewell and the BKFC team. Like just for everything they've done. Like I'm grateful. You know.
Yeah.
I'm nervous, but I'm excited too. If I can't do it, I gotta fight. So I'm just excited to be a part of something great. You know what I mean? I got great people in my corner. I'm a partner. She's great. She supports me. Everything I do as long as I'm doing the right thing. So yeah, I'm blessed. Like I said, I'm blessed. And I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. It's like that's it worried me because some fighters look for sponsors and stuff like that, and it's like I didn't want to go for a sponsor because you start asking for sponsors. Get your mother, please. I didn't go for sponsors and stuff like that because if I ask you to sponsor me, first thing you're gonna do is look me up. The first thing you're gonna see is what I was accused of. You know what I'm saying? So that and it's like out of my whole family, nobody's ever finished high school, ever done anything in their life. And you go on Google and all the things I've done in my career. Like they'll tell you, oh, he was accused of this, he was accused of that. But they don't tell you how when I was boxing, I was always helping families and needs, Christmas presents, stuff like that. They don't ever tell you stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's good that you've got it out as well, mate, because people won't only see that side of it now. There's an answer to it, isn't there? When people put your name in YouTube now, it'll probably be one of the first videos that comes up. So people will just watch the interview and see your side of the story, mate. And it's right, like when you say there, it's not even just in this case. In other cases where people have been acquitted, like you put the name in Google and even though they've been found innocent and things like that, that fucking news flash still comes up and it ruins people's fucking lives.
And it's the system and all that in the paper. I think it's illegal. Like they get people that get beat to death and all that because of something they were accused of they didn't do. I'm not saying everybody that's accused of it didn't do it. I'm not saying that. I'm saying I didn't do it, and not everybody. Because these days, women, you know what I'm saying, hell hath no fury like a woman's scorn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like you know what I'm saying. I can sit down and just say like I've never been playful to a woman except my partner. None. Like I've never. So I even though I didn't do the things that woman accused me of, like maybe I played with her feelings or emotions, or you know what I'm saying. Maybe I played my part and I accept my part, but I could never hear about it. I have 5 daughters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a fear. It's always a fear because even BKFC, for example, if I'm going through and somebody calls me something they shouldn't call me, I'm over the railing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's where I am. Like you have to understand where I come from. Like when I was going to high school, my brother told me that in order to get a girl, I had to be tough. So like I get on my hands and knees and let her run across me, repeatedly kicking in my chest until I pass out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great, but like it's this journey. It just this journey for me is just started on the day the trial since M31 boxing Manchester, also elite boxing, Andrew Thornton, man, everybody is helping me out. Like you know what I'm saying, I go to the gym, family life, work. That's all I do. You know what I mean? I train. I'm training with KD Performance, who is Tommy Fury and Tyson Fury's strength and conditioning coach. He's great. You know what I'm saying? So, and I was at the tryouts, I was 99 and a half kilos. So I'm down to 90 kilos. So I'm doing good. I still got a little way to go, but we're gonna get there.
That's good.
All I want to do is all that time that I didn't fight, I wasn't fighting. I always said if I get another opportunity to get back in the ring, I would give it my all. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do. I took my career for granted when I had it. I won't take this for granted.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And obviously, you're fighting October 14th in Liverpool. what can we expect to see from Zane Marks bare knuckle in that ring?
You think the way you see?
Nice.
I mean, it's a fight. It's a fight. Anything can happen in a fight. I can promise. There's one thing I promise you. I've never been in a boring fight. I don't think it's starting now.
Yeah, that's.
You know,
do you know much about this guy you're fighting?
I know he's from Ireland. He's taller than me, but the only thing I need to know is he's standing across the ring from me. So, you know, it's like I said in my BKFC try. If I go down, it's because somebody put me down. So I don't get up because I can't get up. But
Yeah,
in order to stop me, you need to try and kill me.
yeah. That's what bare knuckles all about, mate. That's what makes a great fight.
See, when I was boxing, my brother always used to. My brother, you know, I was in America. I would call Scott and speak to my brother, and I would say to him, he would always say to me, he said, "The guy in the ring with you has not been through what we've been through in life." You know what I'm saying? I think, you know, when I went through that experience, I went through with the false allegations, going to prison for it and all that. I believe at the time I hated it. I felt like I didn't deserve it. You know, I didn't deserve it. But see, now I think it's the best thing that happened to me because it prepared me for so much. If I can make it through that and still walk with my head held high and not having anger in my heart towards anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it humbled me too. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it made me a better person. If I could have avoided going through it, I would, but you know, it is what it is. I just like I said, I'm moving on with nothing.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And I know you're not on social Instagram and that. I was just saying for the people who are going to be watching.
I'm on Instagram. Yeah, I'm on Instagram. Yeah.
What's your Instagram name so people can follow you?
Zane _the_train_Marks.
Zane the Train Marks.
Yeah, underscore between these words. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
also on Facebook, Zane Marks.
Zane Marks, Cushy, mate. And everybody who's watching, make sure you go over and follow Zane on his bare knuckle journey. Going to make waves in the weight division in the BKFC. And hopefully, mate, now we're in contact, we can start doing a bit of work together. Maybe I'll pop down your way, do a bit of filming in the gym and things like that.
Yeah. I'm actually I was looking for a film crew. I want to put together like a small documentary. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I'd love to do something like that. Like,
yeah, 100%. I would really. We could talk when I see you. Yeah. I want to send a shout out to Dan Gallagher, my brother, my sister, and you know everybody supporting me through everything I've been through. Yeah, my kids, Jersey, Avery, Willow, Mercedes, Mackenzie, Elijah, and Jackson, and my unborn child.
Cushy, brother. Well, we'll stay in contact, mate. Get some more work done, but I wish you the best of luck, mate, from the 14th of October, and I can't wait to see you out. But enjoy the rest of your evening, Zane, pal.
I will do, man. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you.
You too, brother. Speak soon, my mate.
I'll see you on the 14th, brother.
Yes, 100%, mate. See you soon.
All right, man.